Hey guys, this week I've been testing this Kia Niro EX, which I like to affectionately call the Kia Robert De Niro. I've spent about 6 days with this so far, and it's been a nice car. I think for the price point, this is a pretty good offering. As a hybrid, I'm not sure it really puts out hybrid miles to the gallon numbers, but if you think of it as just a hatchback, Kia calls this a crossover, but really it's just kind of a larger hatchback that gets good gas mileage. It seems to make sense. The dual clutch, this has a 6-speed dual clutch transmission with a 1.6 liter gas engine and a 43 horsepower electric motor. And the dual clutch adds just a little bit of coolness and I think uniqueness in the just realm of boring CVT hybrids. And it's a nice car to drive. You've got a decent amount of trunk space here for this being a hybrid. It's a little bit of a higher area here, but you've got some space to put things down here. You've got some more storage bins and places to hide stuff. And back seats have plenty of room, really easy to get in and out of. Lots of headroom, with this nice tall roof. Set to my driving position at 5'10". I've got a lot of leg space. This armrest is really comfortable. It's just a nice place to be. It's very comfortable back here, good visibility. You could easily fit some adults in here, no problem. Take a quick look under the hood, just for fun. Show you the inner workings of the hybrid and gas motor. There you go. There we go. All right, let's take this thing for a drive. This car, I think MSRP is around $26,000, and spec'd out, this has the technology and sunroof package. You've got the sunroof, you've got radar guided cruise control, smart braking, collision avoidance, all that stuff. Radar guided cruise control works pretty well on this. No complaints. You can skip 5-mile-per-hour increments, which is really nice. I don't know if it's going to do it right now, but let's see. One issue I've had with this car this week is with the climate control. So it being winter, it's cold. It is absolutely freezing outside. And I've had this strange problem. I don't think it's going to do it in this video, where I'll set the climate control to hands and feet because the steering wheel gets really cold. It's been 0 degrees, 1 degree Fahrenheit out, and the leather on the steering wheel gets freezing, and there's no heated steering wheel in this. And the climate control will it'll flash and go back to window defrost. And this seems like an automatic software thing where you really can't get the climate control to point at your hands. And it's been really irritating because my hands have just been freezing all week if I don't have gloves on. And I drove the car for 45 minutes yesterday, and I still couldn't get it to do this. It seems to be kind of an intermittent issue. I'm not sure if it's a software thing, but it seems like sometimes you can only drive with the defrost on, which is just, it's been very annoying for me personally this week because of the weather. I would say overall that the climate control system, until this thing has a long time to warm up, is just a little bit weak. If you're in colder climates, this is kind of a more eco-geared climate control system where you're not really going to get a lot of heat out of it. Once it really warms up, it's fine, but it takes a long time to get there. So just something to note. I'm not sure why this has been happening, but it seems like it's always just automatically reverting back to window defrost. All right, let's take this thing for a drive here. It seems like the electric motor will basically carry the car up to pretty decent speeds. It's intermittent in how much it works and how much it kicks in different driving situations. I've been able to cruise up to around 45 and hold my speed at around 45, 50 miles an hour with just the electric motor sometimes. And with a dual clutch, it works pretty well. There's only been a couple instances where I've really needed to accelerate quickly from a stoplight or a stop sign, and there's been a rough start where the dual clutch motor will kick in and the transition will just be really rough. But most of the time, this is a great pairing, and I actually really like the dual clutch transmission over a CVT option. The brake pedal is excellent. For a hybrid, this feels like a normal brake pedal. The brakes themselves are just a little bit weak. I'd like to have a little bit more braking force in some situations, but that could be the cold temperatures today. I think throughout the rest of the week, I haven't really had any complaints. The regenerative system works really well. It's a nice seamless transition between the brake pedal and the regen. You almost don't even notice it. It feels like a normal brake pedal, which is great. Something some other companies have struggled with for years. Kia and Hyundai have nailed it in this Niro and in the Ioniq. Yeah, the braking is it's totally normal. I don't think anyone would notice anything funky about this. So in normal driving conditions, you're basically always kind of put into an eco mode. So think of this car as driving in eco mode pretty much all the time, unless if you have it in sport mode with the transmission, which turns it into a sport mode. So there isn't necessarily a normal driving setup for this car. It's either eco or sport. And the normal setup is it's a little bit lazy. You really have to push the accelerator down to get any acceleration out of the car. When you floor it, I think it has plenty of pickup for what it is. This isn't a terribly heavy car. It's about 3,200 pounds curb weight, and it gets up and goes. It has a decent amount of acceleration. I think that's partially due to the lack of drivetrain loss from the dual clutch, and the fact that this has the electric motor to give you just a little bit more torque. No complaints with power. You throw it into sport mode, and you get nice throttle response. The dual clutch shifts quickly. It's almost immediate. It's a nice sport mode, but chances are you're mostly going to be leaving it in normal eco. Let's talk a little about handling here. Decent amount of handling, decent amount of grip from these eco tires. I've also been somewhat impressed with how these ecos perform in the snow and the ice. The stability control works well. It tends to kind of suck you into a corner a little bit if you're going around a slippery, snowy turn at low speeds, which is good. Maybe there's a little bit of brake force distribution in there as well. It's hard to tell sometimes, but this actually handles pretty well in the snow. It does a good job. My only real complaint with this car from a driving perspective is there's just a little bit more wind noise at speed than I would like, and I'm sure that has to do with the shape of the car. This is not an aerodynamic hybrid. This is a hybrid that is practical. That's kind of a normal car that also just happens to be a hybrid, and that's also reflected in the fuel economy. Right now I'm sitting at 34.5 miles to the gallon average this week. I would say you could probably easily get around 38, 39 on the readout, but any more than that would probably be a little bit difficult to achieve. I think you'd have some trouble matching the EPA-rated fuel economy numbers with this car, just because of the aero, and you can already hear some wind noise. You get a lot from this mirror and just kind of over the front window and A-pillars. It's not prohibitive of having a conversation, but there is definitely some wind noise at speed. As you can hear there. Otherwise, though, for the price, this is a really nice driving car. Especially when you consider what it is. It does a good job. I have some major complaints with that climate control system. I think the seat heaters are way too warm for what's necessary. Even on the lowest setting, my buns are getting completely roasted off. But those are minor complaints. I think overall this is a pretty nice car. It has great headlights at night, really nice visibility. I think all the buttons are good. The Kia Hyundai layout and infotainment is really good. You have buttons and knobs for everything, but at the same time the touchscreen is really responsive, and you just have a great infotainment system here. matched with some nice features like the radar guided cruise control that works quite well, and of course, you know, just lots of information given to you in the dash. And one thing you don't have with this car is an RPM or attack, so you don't really know what speed the engine's going at, but you can control the gears manually with the shifter here. And as you can hear, it blips downshifts pretty nicely. Well, I think that's about all I have to say about the Niro. You know, personally, I would probably, unless if I really needed the extra space in this car, I would go for the Hyundai Ioniq. It gets way better gas mileage. It's a much better hybrid. It's way more aerodynamic. The wind noise at speed is a little bit annoying, but I really like the character of this car. I really enjoy the dual clutch nature of it. I think that's a great addition. It's something that's necessary in the marketplace, and Hyundai and Kia have done a really good job. Well, Kia has done a really good job with this car pairing that to the hybrid system. And it's a little bit strange when it's in full electric mode sometimes, and you're feeling shifts. But it's nice. I like it. It's a little bit more. I think it adds just a little bit more driver involvement, and gives the car just a slightly higher premium feel. So, and you know, that's kind of how I would categorize this. Is it feels like a premium hatchback that's just a little bit bigger than a hatchback, and all the touch points are nice. The steering wheel, although it gets super cold, is a nice quality leather. The shifter feels really good. Just the action of everything and the way the buttons press it all feels nice in here. And typical Kia stuff all throughout their lineup, but it's just a pleasant place to be. And of course, you get a great warranty with these cars. 10 years, 100,000 miles. Can't beat that. So anyway, let me know if you guys have any questions on this, any thoughts, opinions, whatnot. Let's go up here so you can kind of, I don't know if I'm going to do a night video on this or not, so I'll show you guys what it looks like from the inside here. You've got lots of reds, pretty attractive interior at night. No issues with the headlights. They've got great range and visibility. You can hear now we're in EV mode, it's super quiet. And you've got a decent reverse camera as well. It turns with the steering wheel. These extend so you can get some good visor action there. You've got a place to put your sunglasses up here. Lots of storage. Just a nice usable car with a couple nitpicks relating to climate control and wind noise. That's about it. That sums it up. Thanks again for watching, guys. I will see you in another video. Take care and enjoy the rest of the holidays. Happy New Year. This might be my last upload before New Year's. I'm not sure. But thanks again for watching. We'll see you later.